Mastering remote work. We must crack the code on measuring remote work performance, or risk total operational opacity. How do we determine and track the key performance indicators, KPIs, that accurately measure the success and effectiveness of our remote work operations, and what specific metrics do we use to evaluate and refine our operational excellence in a remote work environment? Determining and tracking key performance indicators, KPIs, is crucial to measuring the success and effectiveness of remote work operations. To accomplish this, it is essential to establish a set of relevant metrics that provide insights into various aspects of remote work operations, including productivity, efficiency, communication, and employee engagement. 1. Productivity metrics. Task completion rate. Track the percentage of tasks completed within the allocated time frame to measure individual productivity. Cycle time. Measure the time taken to complete a task or a set of tasks to identify areas for process improvement. Output quality. Evaluate the quality of work delivered to ensure it meets the required standards. 2. Efficiency metrics. Meeting frequency and duration. Monitor the frequency and duration of virtual meetings to identify opportunities to reduce unnecessary meetings and optimize meeting times. Collaboration tool adoption. Track the adoption and usage rates of collaboration tools, such as project management software, to ensure seamless communication and information sharing. Automation rates. Measure the percentage of automated processes to identify opportunities to improve efficiency. 3. Communication metrics. Response time. Track the average response time to emails, chats, or other communication channels to ensure timely responses. Communication channel usage. Monitor the usage rates of different communication channels, such as email, chat, or video conferencing, to identify the most effective channels. Feedback and satisfaction. Regularly collect feedback from employees and stakeholders to measure satisfaction with communication and identify areas for improvement. 4. Employee engagement metrics. Employee satisfaction. Conduct regular surveys to measure employee satisfaction with remote work arrangements, including work-life balance, flexibility, and job autonomy. Training and development. Track employee participation in training and development programs to ensure continuous skill enhancement. Employee retention. Monitor employee retention rates to identify areas for improvement in remote work operations. 5. Operational excellence metrics. Processes automation. Track the percentage of automated processes to identify opportunities to improve efficiency. Employee self-sufficiency. Measure the percentage of employees who can work independently with minimal supervision. Innovation rate. Monitor the rate of innovation and idea generation to identify opportunities for process improvements. To evaluate and refine operational excellence in a remote work environment, it is essential to 1. Establish a balanced scorecard that comprises the above-mentioned metrics to provide a comprehensive view of remote work operations. 2. Set clear targets and benchmarks for each metric to ensure measurable goals. 3. Regularly collect and analyze data to identify trends, patterns, and areas for improvement. 4. Conduct regular feedback sessions with employees and stakeholders to gather insights and ideas for improvement. 5. Implement changes and refine processes based on data-driven insights and feedback. 6. Continuously monitor and evaluate the effectiveness of remote work operations, making adjustments as needed to ensure operational excellence. By focusing on these metrics and continually refining processes, organizations can ensure operational excellence in remote work environments, leading to improved productivity, efficiency, communication, and employee engagement. As I sat in my home office, surrounded by paintings and sculptures that I've collected over the years, I couldn't help but think about the parallels between appreciating art and achieving operational excellence in a remote work environment. You see, when I'm viewing a beautiful piece of art, I'm not just looking at the surface level. I'm taking in the colors, the textures, the emotions it evokes. I'm considering the artist's intention, the context in which it was created, and how it makes me feel. It's a holistic experience that requires a deep understanding of the intricacies and nuances of the piece. Similarly, when it comes to operational excellence in a remote work environment, we need to look beyond the surface level of metrics and KPIs. We need to consider the complexities, the variables, and the human elements that come into play. For instance, let's take the example of a remote software development team. On the surface, we might track metrics like code quality, bug density, and deployment time. But what about the human elements? What about the communication dynamics between team members, the sense of trust and accountability, and the emotional well-being of each individual? As I thought about this, I couldn't help but recall a conversation I had with a remote team leader who was struggling to get his team aligned. He was focusing solely on the metrics, and it wasn't until he took the time to understand the personalities, the motivations, and the fears of his team members that he was able to turn things around. In that moment, I realized that operational excellence in a remote work environment is not just about tracking metrics, but about creating an environment where humans can thrive. It's about understanding the intricate web of relationships, the power dynamics, and the psychological contracts that exist within the team. So, what does this mean in practical terms? For one, it means that our KPIs need to be designed with the human element in mind. We need to track metrics that go beyond mere productivity and efficiency, and instead, focus on metrics that measure collaboration, innovation, and employee engagement. For example, we might track the frequency of cross-functional feedback, the number of innovative solutions proposed, or the level of engagement in virtual coffee breaks. We might even track the frequency of team members showing appreciation for one another, or the number of volunteer hours logged by team members. But it's not just about tracking metrics, it's about creating an environment that encourages creativity, empathy, and mutual respect. This means investing in team-building activities, providing opportunities for skill development, and fostering open and honest communication. As I looked around my office, taking in the beauty of the art that surrounded me, I realized that operational excellence in a remote work environment is not just about achieving a certain level of performance. It's about creating an environment that inspires, that motivates, and that brings out the best in people. And as I sat there, surrounded by the art and beauty that inspires me, I knew that this was the key to achieving true operational excellence in a remote work environment. It's not just about the metrics, it's about the people, the relationships, and the experiences that make it all worthwhile.